Yo, what's up? It's your boy here, Rep, and I'm here with another truth bomb for ya. Listen, me and G Soul, we couldn't get together to meet this week, but I don't want to leave you guys empty-handed, right? So, I just wanted to kind of like come on here and talk a little bit about something that just popped into my head today. So I at work for this developmental um, program that my company puts on, and basically each year a certain amount of people apply for it. Some are accepted, and then they have leads that lead small groups, cohorts we call it. And for 9 months, there's a lot of development that goes on. There's a lot of coaching. There's a lot of personal development as well as career development that happens, and it's a great program. Really develops a huge family there, and it's great, right? So one of the things that it focuses on again is developing yourself. Like there's so many different programs and different classes and different things that happen in this program. I can't tell you about. I can't tell you all about it because it's about the specific program, and it's really key to this program. But one of the things that did follow me throughout when I went through the program several years ago, and now that I'm leading a cohort this year again, is a project that is coming up for the group. It's actually coming up in about a week, and it's called River of Life, right? And this is not a secret. This is something that a lot of people in our company do, a lot of people in a lot of different organizations and companies do, called a River of Life. And a River of Life basically is you individually taking stock of your life from beginning to where you are now, and pulling out the key points or bends in the river that really make you who you are today, that really tell you or tell your story, and have really developed your story and have kind of brought you to the point that you're at today. And so we ask people to go through and just kind of like take it seriously, like take some time and look at your life, figure out, okay, this that happened when I was 5 years old or 6 years old was key to who I am today, to developing who I am today. This that happened when I was 13, when I was 16, when I was 20, when I was 25, whatever, all those different things, or when I was at this place, when I was living here, or when I was with this person or in this relationship. And it really gets you to take stock of your life and say, you know what? There are things in my life, both good and bad, and I don't like to call it bad, right? I like to call it unexpected, because I feel like everything that happens in our life is meant to drive us to a specific point. Okay. And those things cannot sometimes don't feel good, right? They could be changes, they could be transitions that are just hard, that are difficult. They could be storms, there could be trials, there could be whatever it may be, right? But that happening was a turning point for you, and it brought you to a specific place. And so as people start going through this, and they start like taking those elements out, and they start putting it on paper, and start kind of like taking note of it, it starts to formulate this river, this journey of bends, of ups and downs, of rapids, of still waters, of slowness, of fast currents that show you like, hey, this story that I'm living, this life that I have, not only has a purpose, but it has been mapped out and planned for me. And the things that I didn't plan for, the things that are unexpected, or the things that didn't feel good, or the things that did feel good, and I just like took it for granted. All those things, all those stepping stones, all those points in my journey led me to the person that I am today. And I also have to look forward to the unexpected stuff that's going to happen in the future. And it's really interesting because at when we get together in a couple weeks, we're going to get together in our groups, our cohorts, and everyone's going to share their journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, the the intimate, to a point. There's a safe space to it, but to a point to where you get comfortable, they get comfortable sharing their journey. Why do we ask them to do this? Why did I have to go through this? Why did a lot of us go through this? Is because we want people to realize that their story matters. their story has an impact. It has a chance to impact what you go through, the things that you have done, the things you've been through. All of that has the potential to impact so many people's lives. And I'm a firm believer, because I used to tell this all the time, like, even if what I do impacts one person's life, that's what makes a difference, right? Because I don't know what that one person is going to go ahead and do with their life because of how I live my life. And, that one person can reach millions. Okay. I might not be the person that reaches, 5 billion people or be like a specific, like, grand influence or something like that, but I may impact the next one. Okay. So we have to live in that aspect, but we also have to realize that our story matters, right? This life that we lead matters, and it's important, and it can impact people. And if you can tell your story, and if you can articulate it and not only be proud of it, but also realize, like, hey, there's a plan for me. There has been a plan for me. Man, there's a great humility in that, but there's also great comfort in that as well. And it got me thinking, right? Because I got to bring it back to God. That's our whole thing about being truth seekers. We bring it back to God, and there's so many things that float around among Christianity that are like, hey, God's got a plan for your life, or God's will is going to be this, or just wait for God to open a door, or all this stuff, right? And a lot of times it's thrown out haphazardly, right? People just throw it out there and just like, yo, this is a cool thing to say because they need to hear this. But to truly believe and understand that that God did have a purpose for you from the very beginning. We've been going through Genesis, or starting to go through Genesis, and it is very clear that God's plan for humanity was from the very beginning, right? He planned to make everything that he made. He planned to make man. He planned to have this relationship. He planned to have a way to be right with him when the fall happened. He planned all of this out, and this is no surprise to him. But one of the verses that I always kind of draw back to, and I'm gonna bring it up here because I want to make sure I'm quoting it right, and it is in Jeremiah. I want to say chapter 1, right? Here we go. So this is the word of the Lord to Jeremiah, saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you, and I appointed you a prophet to the nations. And then Jeremiah says, God, behold, I don't know how to speak. I'm just a youth. And the Lord said to me, do not say I'm just a youth, for to all whom I send you, you shall go. And whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you, says the Lord. And the Lord put out his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said to me, behold, I put my words in your mouth. See, I have set you this day over the nations, over the kingdoms, to pluck up, to break down, to destroy, and to overthrow, to build, and to plant. And so this is specifically a calling for Jeremiah, right? In a time when the prophets were out there. But I think this really stands true with a number of different verses and examples throughout Scripture of God saying, hey, before you were even born, I had this plan for you. Before you were even thought of, right? I had this goal in mind for you, which, and this could bring up a whole lot of stuff, but which is why for those of us who are pro-life, right? We believe that there is a plan for that child, that baby, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, before birth, before the mother even knows, before the father even knows, before the doctors even know. There's a plan for that child. And it may supersede our plans or our expectations, et cetera, et cetera. We can go into that eventually. I'm sure we will have that topic of pro-life and all of that, pro-choice. I have some interesting, probably, takes on it. But even when we talk about David and God's plan for him to be king, and God saying like, hey, you know what? Don't look at the appearance, don't look at the height, don't look at all the stuff that man looks at, the outward, like God looks at the heart. God looks at what is going on inside, and he sees that from the very beginning. And again, and he has a plan for that. He has a plan for everything that you go through. He had a plan for Joseph when he was in prison. He had a plan for Daniel and the lions, and he had a plan for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. He had a plan for, Peter and Paul when they were in prison. He had a plan for Noah when he was building the ark for that many years. You know, he had a plan for everybody. He had a plan for everything. He has a plan for you. He had a plan for you going through the divorce you went through. He had a plan for you going through the loss of your child. He had a plan for you going through the job changes that you've had to go through. He has a plan for you through it all. He has a plan through you, through your marriage, through your through the children that you do have, through the family that you do have, through the schooling that you went through everything. He has a plan. And really taking the time to suss out those details and remember, I would say this, remember, there's so many times in the Bible that God just remember what I've done. Remember what I've brought you through. Remember what you've gone through. Remember and see that I've been faithful to you, and I've been faithful to the plan that I have for you. So that's my challenge to you guys. That's the truth bomb for you. Take some time. Maybe come up with your own river of life. Maybe think about those details, those moments, those turning points that you've had in your life, and kind of see like the amazing journey that has been planned out for you. Anywho, Soul and I will be back next time with some more Truth Seekers. I hope you have a great 4th of July for those of you who celebrate, and we will see you next time. Peace.